What's going on, guys? Majelster here, bringing you an absolutely insane game, one of my most insane games ever in my M53 M55 American Tier 9 artillery. Of my almost 11,000 battles, this has got to be the most crazy ending I think I've ever experienced, at least in the last couple years, and I've been playing since 2011. Um, this game, as you'll see at the ending, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but it is quite the heart pound. And it may end in heartache and it may end in a victory. I'm going to let you watch and figure that out for yourself, but it's definitely worth watching. It starts off a little bit kind of slow, but it definitely, toward the end, will certainly pick up. I had a lot of fun playing this tank, and honestly, the M53-55 is the best artillery in the game, in my opinion. The tier 8 American artillery is decent and makes a decent amount of credits, but the accuracy on it is just so piss poor. It just doesn't make it worth it. So this is my first shot in the game. I penetrated this guy, 1,036 damage. Not off too bad of a start. 45 seconds into the game and already 1k plus damage. So at this point in the game, I'm kind of seeing how the team is spreading, figuring out where I want to go, what I want to do, where I need to cover. I see on the left side of the map, our T-49 is engaging in two of the enemy team's scouts. So I definitely want to prevent them from pushing up and want to put some rounds downrange onto them. I see our LTTB is going to be kind of holding down the fort over there, and I definitely don't want these guys to continue to push on. So I'm going to go ahead and start splashing them. Hit one of their scouts for 350. Not quite the result I was hoping for, but at this point that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and start moving to the right, my right at least, and just trying to get a little bit more safe in case our LTTB does go down, either from their scouts being, they could bum rush him at any point and take him out, or enemy artillery or somebody, the T-29, for example, if you look on the mini map, can get a lucky shot off or get an angle off and take this guy out. That's really not going to be good for neither myself, my team, or the other artillery on my team. So I'm just going to keep trying to shoot this guy as much as I can, put suppressing fire down on him, splashing him, just trying to whittle him down until he's either low enough to where our LTTB can push up and take him out and maybe, make him one shot for him, or I can actually take him out myself, which would be obviously be the most ideal circumstance. Always keep an eye on the map, though. That's what I've been doing this whole game, kind of seeing where people are going, where enemy tanks are going. And right now, 12 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, it's kind of even. It's 2-2. It's not kind of even. It's exactly even, 2-2. Um, but that'll quickly change as you'll see here. So I'm still looking for shots on these scouts over here. I'm telling our LTTB, great shout out to our LTTB. I forgot. Let me look at his name real quick. Uh, Denver 44. Shout out Denver 44. He did a great job helping me out with this. Great job communicating, and that's key. In all games when you play artillery or a scout, you have to be able to communicate. I ask this guy, I'm saying, "Hey, I'm aiming here. Can you scout?" He pushes up, as you can see on the mini map. Looks, he really makes some. He puts himself out there, which I really appreciate, and is unable to spot him. So he's just like negative. I'm unable to spot this guy. Look elsewhere. And that's exactly what I do. And I end up splashing this KV3 right there for 257 damage. So, far cry from my first shot, but at least I'm hitting targets. And you'll notice I am running premium rounds. The splash damage on American artillery is just too insane for me not to be running premium rounds, or at least a few every game. They are expensive, but I think they're well worth. So the other scout right there goes down. Our LTTB Denver 44 shout out does go down as well right there, but at least I don't have to worry about those scouts pushing our left flank and coming around behind all of us. So right now I'm looking at trying to take out either this T-34 or the tank that just went dark, who I just missed, and putting shots on them. Up to 2,000 damage. Not terrible, but I definitely have a lot more. I have a much more ability to do um, way more than that, especially at this point in the game. But I've been focusing on that scout too much. So what I want to do is kind of shift my attention here to these heavies in town and start supporting my heavies more. Right here, the KV3, who I splashed earlier, I definitely want to take him out. As you can see, my team, they're playing super defensive and they're letting the enemy come to them, which in normal circumstances is fine, but when they have really aggressive tanks and a lot of tanks with good frontal armor, that's, going to be our demise, as you'll see. So right now, looking at this 703-2, he's wide open. I can't ask for a better shot than that. Hits him directly, hit him for 413 and do critical damage. Not sure what exactly that critical damage was, but I did do something. And at this point, I'm looking around. I'm like, all right, this guy's pushing up. He can definitely push me. He could either suicide or if my team's not paying attention, push up. We just lose our Tiger P. And as I'm looking out, a lot of the team, and almost all of the teammates I have left in town are all, 20% or less hit points. And I'm looking at, tier 8 hit point, or tier 8 tanks, excuse me, on their team with full hit points. This is going to be my first misplay of the game. I try to get greedy there and hit both of them, and about half a second too short, so I only end up splashing at the outer edge of my splash radius on both of them. Ideally, I'd like to finish off that T29 because, as you know, a tank with 1 hit point can do just as much damage as a tank with full hit points. Thankfully, our other Arty's on it, and our M4043 splashes both of them, taking out the T29 and also putting the 703-2 on one shot for anybody on our team. And our King Tiger goes ahead and takes him out, but unfortunately, he's taken out immediately after by enemy artillery. So I see right here, tier 9 Conway pushed up. Side, giving me a side. I wasn't my best shot. I should have anticipated him moving immediately after he shot. So I end up only splashing him for 280 damage, which is not terrible, but certainly, I mean, I could have one-shotted him had that been a little bit better timed and aimed on my part, so not great. Our Scorpion G, I honestly hadn't been paying attention to where he was going or what he was doing, but a very mobile tank. He ends up taking out one of their artillery, the M53-55, and our artillery destroys their Su-14-2. So we're looking good on that front. Right now we've got this 46 here. He's kills our M4043, and had I missed that shot, that almost certainly would have been the end of the game right there. However, I'm able to clutch that and take him out of the game and, hopefully secure a little bit better foothold on taking the victory on this game. Our Scorpion G, good idea in my own opinion, deciding to cap here. That's going to not only draw enemies out, but also push them back a little bit and allow me hopefully to get some lights up. However, he does get shot by their Conway there and resets cap, and he decides to leave the cap and go in and engage him. I do have some decent shots on this Conway, and I'm hoping the Scorpion G is going to light him up. However, he is being a little bit defensive, which is great, to each their own. But I definitely would have loved to get a nice shot and at least made him one shot for our Scorpion G if all went well. The KV-3, however, is spotted by our Scorpion G. I see him immediately go ahead and put a shot down range on him, full broadside. Couldn't ask for a better target to shoot at than that. Finish him off with a 155. So at this point, it's 2v2. They've got 2 TDs, a Conway, and let's see, I forgot what the other one was, a UDES 03. The UDES 03 is obviously the one that's capping since the Conway is just spotted down there. I want to help out our Scorpion G if at all possible, but the Conway goes dark as our Scorpion G is coming back to reset cap, which is fantastic. So what I want to do at this point, I see that I'm not going to be flanked. They're definitely committed to capping. I want to look on point, go ahead and be pre-aimed, so when our Scorpion G hopefully gets back to cap in time, I can go ahead and assist him. Normally, on any, capping circle, our enemies are going to be either in low ground, they're going to be behind an enemy tank or a friendly tank that's dead that they can use as cover, or the little center part there, the trash as it's called. Sure enough, their UDES was hiding behind our friendly tank, was shot by our Scorpion G, taken out by me with a 560 right to his side of his tank and finishing him up. So at this point, I'm like, oh hell, what the hell am I gonna do? I'm out of premium rounds, so I don't have that advantage going for me, the extra splash radius. I know that the Conway, he's got a decent amount of hit points left. He is one shot according to the Scorpion G on our team. However, I'm not sure what gun he's running, if he has the upgraded gun, if he can one-shot me, what he can do. So I think at this time, the best decision I can make is going to be to set up, because initially I was going to go for their cap, but since he's already on cap, I definitely don't have time to get to their cap, and then start capping because they're going to out cap us before I even get there, more than likely. So I know, like I just said, they're going to be either behind something low ground or behind enemy tanks. Unfortunately, this shot hits our ally there, our M4043, and is unable to go where I was aiming my center of my reticle. So I'm at this point, I'm like looking at the clock, kind of freaking out. So I'm like a minute left. I've got about a 40-second reload. I know you can't see it on this replay, but I think it's about 40 seconds. And I'm like, all right, so I got time for one more shot, but I don't know where he is. If I miss the shot, then it's game over. So the only chance I have to win this game for myself and for my team, shout out to Christo Hat there for keeping me motivated, and the T49. T49 actually was one of the first people to die on our team, and he stuck around to stay to the end. Shout out to him. You rarely we see a teammate like that. My man is dedicated, and the Scorpion G the same, much the same. So I'm like, I've got to push cap. The only chance I'm gonna have is not blind firing, is to try to push the cap, spot him maybe before he spots me, and shoot him. That's the only chance I have to win this game. And let me just stop talking here and let you watch the rest. With 1 second left, guys, my heart was beating out of my chest at this point. All right, guys, I absolutely could not believe it. I started jumping up in my room by myself, being super weird, just celebrating because that was insane. Y'all saw how big my reticle bloom was there. The fact that RNG was on my side that much, absolutely insane. You know, 1 in 1,000 battles, you might have something like that happen. You know, absolutely ecstatic. So, personal score, guys, Ace Tanker has been so long and hard sought after by me. I'm by no means an artillery player, but the T92, which is the Tier 10 American artillery, and the M5553, which is the Tier 9, which I just played, have always been, I've always tried to get Ace Tanker on them. I think if you look at my top 20 most played tanks by battles, and you look at what medals I have on those tanks, I think I have Ace Tanker for all the tanks except for these two, the artillery. I don't grind artillery out. Maybe if I put dedicated some time to it, I maybe could get Ace Tanker, but with how artillery is now and how RNG dependent it is, it's just not worth my time. I'd much rather, put that time into something a little bit more worthwhile in my opinion. So I got first class master badge. I'm a little bit salty that it wasn't ace tanker. That really would have been the icing on the cake, but what can you do? Got defender, um, got several other medals here. Including high caliber, obviously. Going over to team score, you'll see that I was first in damage with 4204 total, 4 kills, 1022 base experience, and 5 medals, doing over 1,000 damage than our next closest tank, and doing more damage than anybody else on either team. Switching over to the detailed report, you'll see that I fired 13 shots. I hit 4 and penetrated 2 of those in splash 12, which is natural. 4,204 damage, and then from more than 300 meters, which is almost all my shots except for that last clutch one, 4,082 damage. And I only received that one hit there at the end. Like I said, premium rounds are super expensive in this tank, so even with the premium account, I managed to lose 12,368 credits, which is a lot. Ammunition costing me 54,960 on top of my tank cost. So naturally, heading back to the garage, I get, just a plethora of messages, and this is only a small percentage of the ones I got. Actually, this is about half the ones I got. Overall, I got about 10 or 11 different messages, which is surprising considering, how long that game went on, and surprised that people stuck around that long to see the final outcome. Or maybe they saw uh, the detailed report and wanted to wish me happy things. But anyways, shout out to Kato, first one to message me, uh, wishing me most clutch game he's ever seen on my team. Shout out to him. That was our Scorpion G. And honestly, dude, without you, I could not have done that. So shout out to you. Also, Pike Defender. Pike Defender, definitely a key player on our team. We definitely couldn't have done it without you. So shout out Pike Defender. MK Rotes, not sure. He wasn't in the battle report. I'm assuming because he or she was using an anonymizer. So that was either our T49 or our King Tiger. But either way, shout out to you. And then honestly, Rhode Island. So for those of you that weren't paying attention, Rhode Island Red, that is the guy I ended up clutching at the end. I messaged him sorry because I was like, oh man, I bet this guy feels terrible that I just, shotgunned him with 1 second left in the game. And he was honestly a real champ about it. Had somebody messaged me after I lost like that, I would have been livid and probably would have blacklisted them just because I'm petty like that. But this guy was a real champ. You know, super nice about it, super congratulatory and recognized, like I did myself, that RNG was definitely a big part of that. But that's part of the game. What can you do? And here's another screenshot from him where he was wishing me well. A nice win, and his team apparently was giving him flack for losing, but what can you do? So shout out to all of you guys and everybody that sent me a message after the game, um, that congratulated me or told me that I was awesome. Shout out to you guys. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you'll like and subscribe if you found this video entertaining. I'll definitely have some more Watt videos coming soon. I've been platooning up with a few different people, and we'll have some nutty games inevitably sometime shortly. So thanks so much, and take care.